What is up, math superstars? In this edition of Mr. Peterson Presents, we're bringing to you how to identify and create various graphs. So in your notes, go to fill it in this lesson. You'll be able to section and then go ahead and move on. So let's go ahead and start our review with line graphs. Some information that you'll need to know about our line graphs. Line graphs are used to display continuous data, and line graphs can be useful in predicting future events and show trends over time. And so we have this lovely little line graph right here. We notice that you have time of day that's listed. So you have all the different intervals broken up in hours. So that's going horizontal. Or vertical is customers in the store. So they're figuring out how many customers show up to their store at different times to maybe predict when they should be closing or when they should have different sales. So here we got bar graphs. And so some interesting features about bar graphs. They're used to display categories of data. And the bar graph is one method of comparing data by using solid bars. Too deep, I know. Bar graphs, you're using solid bars to represent unique quantities. And so here we have textbooks. And so we have health, math, science, history, and then vertically are the number of pages. And we can see that poor math book, has over 600 pages. And your science textbook almost has 800. And so this bar graph gives us some useful data as far as using different categories. Here we have a frequency table. So here with our frequency table, this shows the number of pieces of data that fall within a given interval. And so here we're given the rulers of England. So something you might study in history class. And here's our interval right here. This is the amount of years that they were on the throne. So the intervals are 1 to 15 years, 16 to 30 years, and so on. And then you have tally marks. And so this says for every tally mark is one king or queen that was on the throne. So you can see we have 18 kings or queens that were on the throne between 1 and 15 years. And some interesting little facts here. You have one king or queen, their rule was 61 to 75 years. So frequency table, just different way to display data. Now we have circle graphs. So in our future videos, our circle graphs are going to be what we're going to be focusing on. So here is the basic information about circle graphs here. And so circle graphs are used to show a relationship of part to whole comparison. And so here in our circle graph, this is the grade level of US students. So there is a total number of students in the United States. And what this is broken up with is with percentages. So you can see here we have all different percentages all the way around the circle. And so these are used to show the different parts. And so with these percentages here, we can see that the biggest group of students are between 1st and 8th grade at 45%. The next biggest would be our high school students. You are almost high school, give it a couple more years. And going and finding different percentages, we can make different comparisons. We can say that there are double the number of students in grades 1 through 8 than there are in high school. And we can make all kinds of different predictions and analyze the data differently. So here we have line plots. So line plots, these are diagrams that show the frequency of data on a number line. And for line plots, we use the letter X letter X is placed above a number on a number line each time the data value occurs. So this is what our lovely little line plot looks like. So we have our number line right here, and we have some information here. So we can see that the very first one, we have outliers. The outliers, these are the ones that are on the far left and the far right. And so you want to try to highlight somehow the word outliers there. We can also figure out the range of our data. That's the difference, underline that, between the greatest and least number. We can also see too that there's actually a gap. There's actually a gap between 17 and 28. This gap is pretty much where no numbers are in our data. So we can see that there are different gaps in our data here. It's just completely blank. There's no data in between. We also have this word here, clusters. You should be circling, highlighting these keywords on your notes. Clusters, this is where the data, the groups are close together. And so we can see that most of our numbers are right here between 31 and 44. And the winner for today, the mode, which is the most. So the number that shows up the most here in our data set is the number 52 because it has the most X's over top of it. So lots of different little definitions to remember in regards to line plots. Now we have a stem and leaf plot. So in the stem and leaf plot, the data needs to be organized from least to greatest to start. This is the key, least to greatest to start. So in the digits of the least place value form the leaves, and the next place value digits form the stems. So here's what we mean by this. So here we have the stem here, and we have the leaf. The stem, these are the tens. This is the tens place here. And our leaf, this is the ones place. And so we have lots and lots of data here. So we can say that we have the number 26 shows up. 26 shows up a second time, and 29 shows up. Further, 3 in the tens place, we can see that's 30, 31, 33, 33, 33, and so on. We have lots of data here, so all we need to remember is our stem is the tens digit, the leaf is the ones digit, and here we're given this useful key. So if we forget, the 3 is in the tens place, and the 1 is in the ones place there for our stem and leaf plots. So what we're going to do next is, after you finish your notes, around the room there are various signs, but if you're doing this online, you could also email me, send me a comment. We'll be more than happy to get this information to you, but you're going to walk around the room. If you're here live in class, you will walk around the room and you will find various signs in which you will now have to use your notes to make these graphs as a review for today.